you to be here with us today, Sheldon.
This is exciting to me. I think you get more lessons from speaking directly to people about their journey, where they're at, and their plans than you get from classroom.
I'm Natasha Andrews, and welcome to Corporate Corner. All right, so take us a little bit into your journey. How did you become the Superman of your entire group? And is it everything you ever dreamed of? Why or why not? Tell us.
Let me start with it. It's a lot better than like what I dreamed. Um, this this started. I guess it started way back without me realizing that that is what it was. That's what it was starting to be. But eventually, the real big push 11, 12 years ago, I was in TSTT working at what people would call a really cushy job. I was in charge of BlackBerry and data. So I had my own hours, I had got to travel, all that kind of stuff. But I traveled once to Miami to a conference and I met a guy um, from in Europe and he started a company. And he told me, this was like the third time we had met at this conference. And he said he liked, my approach to things, that I was willing to look at startups and what they're doing and my understanding. And he wondered why I was working for somebody. Um,
Ah,
the secret was that I was in charge of this data at TSCT and I don't have an IT degree. So he was, okay, wow, how do you understand all of this? And I did because I've been doing IT since the days of Atari and Commodore computers. I had been
okay.
programming. So that sells my age out, but that's okay. So I've been doing it since that long. So when I did the exams at RIM and all of that to get into BlackBerry, I excelled and I understood all that was happening around me. It's a field in which I'm very comfortable in actually. But my schooling was in biology, geared towards, anatomy and PE. I am also a former physiotherapist for national football, basketball. So that is where my schooling is. But here
Ah,
I am operating on the next side, IT. And he told me that you should start your own business because no matter who you're working for, at some point you're going to lose that enthusiasm to keep bringing money to them and the self fulfillment you won't get.
ah.
So TSCT got exactly as he said. All of a sudden, I needed to clock a card, I needed to ask permission to work overtime. And the last straw was exactly at that conference. I am going to a conference representing TST. I have to get there before the meeting to go to pre-meetings with the CEO. And my new supervisor, who didn't understand what I was doing, didn't know what I was doing, he was telling me he's not going to give me cards to give out, right? And I'm like, I always get call cards. I just usually order and I get 200 call cards. Now, this conference has like 400 people sharing their stuff and that kind of thing. Plus, you're meeting every other telecom in the world and that type of thing. So, 200 cards usually is just for that event. It finishes at that event. So, I get there, I'm sitting with the VP. First meeting, I had written to everybody saying this is what is going on. And nobody took him seriously. The best answer I got from the CEO was he's going to represent us. It just makes sense that he gets cards. That was a simple answer because the CEO wasn't the kind of like to come down on you, Natasha, do this. No. He would just explain the scenario. When I got there, he looked at me, you have call cards? And I laughed. I said, no. I said, I have 10 more. He just shook his head. He said, there's a place downstairs. I said I saw it. He said we can get you 200 cards. So we went downstairs, got the cards. By that time, I should have already given out at the first meeting we were at, and we sort of played catch up. So that was like the first hint. Like, look, this is not working. I had previously registered a company in Canada, Spectral Sounds, sound and lighting and stuff when I was there. So I had a company registered into my name before I opened a company when I was in school, actually, in Form 6. For my uncle, I opened a pub and a company doing events, right? I threw block holes in arena every other Sunday, So doing business was not strange to me, but this was, at a time when somebody is telling me, go for your own thing, because what you had done before is always with someone else or for someone else.
Mm.
And I saw my effect. I went to meetings on my own. I would represent TSTT against the whole board and Neil and Massey IT and that type of stuff. And I realized I was doing all of this for people who I didn't even know. Because whoever is the board at TSTT, I don't know. So here I am doing stuff for people. Yeah, you're getting paid well, but I think life is about in here, right? You need to feel fulfilled. You need to wake up feeling, I'm going. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So when they started, making rules about everything, they wanted to tell me, go and learn this extra, go and teach this person. And I was like, I can't teach him this. If he can't pass the exam, he can't pass the exam, right? Get me somebody else if you so want a partner. And there were other people who understood it, but they wouldn't let the other person get our position. So here I am. There were two people, Kurt and Kendall, who really understood this and would have been like perfect shoe and fitted. Actually, one night I spent a night in RBTT. It was RBTT still, IT, working, and Kurt was the best person to have. So here it is. I have people who could do the job to help me out, and I'm being denied that. And the work started to get not satisfying. So I lay down cookery for the and I resigned. That was it. I really couldn't continue. Internal reasons. It's not the money. It was not the job. The job really didn't change. But I wanted to feel I felt, in other jobs and fulfilled and that type of thing. I wanted to feel, generally where I feel now. And we'll get to why I feel that way now.
Yes.
So I left. I opened two companies in between that time. This is the third company, actually.
Wow.
Which is just, the company just grew, and I needed a name change and a change in the type of structure of the company. So I opened, this is the third, Mercuri Caribbean is the third version of that. So
wow.
I stepped out on my own.
Wow.
And I immediately got things like, I mean, you open your company and you first, in one meeting, you get to do Toyota, the whole of Toyota IT. And I was like, okay, this is working. Then I got a couple of ministries, Ministry of Planning, Ministry of Tourism. And I was like, this feels so much better. I mean, you're not making the same money, you don't have the traveling allowance and all of that. But, this is feeling is wonderful. I went to a conference in Manhattan. I made, being me, representing me, allows you to talk so freely and passionately about what you're doing, because this is you. So you can really talk about it. And that honestly is the why I do what I do. I would like other people experience exactly that. Where, okay, this is what you've always dreamed of. I think everybody who goes into their own business dreams of being CEO or director of something bigger than your village, than your community, especially if you're from Trinidad and Tobago. You want to feel that you're recognized for doing something that's really huge. So
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing, Sheldon. That's amazing. I mean, as an entrepreneur, extraordinary, the journey and why you do what you do and being fulfilled even more than you expected or dreamed of. That's amazing. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit now about, the impact that you and Mercuri has been able to make, to the development of the economy and the society as a whole.
I deliberately set a goal to impact others because of my journey. In my journey, I I realized that to get a partner or funding was really hard. I had a meeting. I invited people to partner with me, like 13 people. And when I shared the vision and everything, I ended up with two.
Hmm.
And then now we got this deal with Texas Rangers that we would be the official USB merchandise for Texas Rangers. And
Hmm.
it was hard to get people because it was as if some people, this is the feedback I got from some quarters, you too small to do that.
Wow.
I went to a meeting, I won't call the people's name, who supposedly, who could fund me. And here I am with the contract signed off from Texas Rangers. Okay, go ahead, do your stuff. And these people are saying, how you could be the official from Trinidad? Texas Rangers is this big entity. And I'm like,
Hmm.
you're asking me how, and I'm showing you the signed contract. You should ask me, how do we move forward? Because what I'm saying to you is what I need now is funding because the ship has sailed,
Yeah.
right? I've closed the deal. How I close the deal does not matter. I have it. If you're doubting the deal is closed, call this guy. And he was,
Hmm.
call this guy. Um, you know, I I've already been to the stadium. We have given out samples. I've been at a game. So I'm not asking you if I can do this. I'm telling you I've done it. And I want backing because now I'm going for New York Yankees. So here I am saying, yeah, and I got that problem. So I started recently, 2 or 3 years ago, saying, uh, even before that, that I have to help. Jamila Draper was, I think it's 2014, she held a conference, you know, build your own business, BYOB. And she had that also, that mindset. Let's help others. And I gave I spoke at that conference, start on the panel and that kind of thing. And from then I said, look, everybody you can help to avoid the same pitfalls because there's 2014. So it took me like 4 years to get there. My favorite morning is a morning, nothing to eat really. So here we have a doubles, a banana, and a soft drink. And we go into a meeting and I'm saying to Javon, your best suit, your power tie, we go in and get money. And we walked into this place and we really, he was like, you sure? I'm like, we go in and close this deal. They go in and fund us for the office and everything. And we got funding. And this was from people who really didn't even have the money. They just bought into the whole thing. And they,
Wow.
put the money in. Next thing you know, we have an office in Woodbrook. So I wanted to help people understand that you're going to meet all of this pushback. The people close to you are going to like step back. They're going to be like, nah, people are going to like tell you, shrink your dream to fit it into this. Everybody's going to tell you, just open a little parlor here and, Be happy if you make a little 2,000, 3,000 a month. Yeah, I wanted to tell people, the hell with that. If your dream is to sell Trinidad to the whole world, then sell it. If you have something that you believe is the answer to so many problems, then come out and say it loud, be bold, because you're not going to get anywhere by shrinking yourself in a corner and waving silently at everything that passes. If you believe this is the Iron Man suit, jump out in traffic, get run over, and stand back up, and they'll be like, okay, this suit works. Because nobody is going to, if you just stay quiet, hey, oh, hey, hey. No, they won't take you on, because that's where most people, I think, in the back of their mind want you, because they don't see, most people don't see their neighbor as being
Hmm.
this person. We have in our mind what the person running an international corporation should be, but it's never our neighbor or brother. No, we always think it's somebody else. You had to get to Harvard or whatever it is, and it could be you. We don't really look at it. Bill Gates created Microsoft before he left school because you needed Microsoft. He made Microsoft for us to use at a time
Hmm.
when people were thinking Linux, etc., would have been the type of software for you to use on your PC. So it's obvious he couldn't have finished school to do it, right?
Wow. Wow. Sheldon, wow. I am just totally blown away. Um, and just expand a little bit. Tell us what Mercury does right now. What does Mercury
Okay,
International?
right now, and I'll start from Mercury right now is involved in Global 1000, which is where every year I want to run 2 pitch nights to help entrepreneurs throw their idea out there at investors. Let's build your company. Let's introduce you to the right people. So we are hooked up with Expert Dojo, who is one of the best across the globe at building entrepreneurs, that they will send the head honcho who will sit at meetings. He has sat at our meetings. He will sit down, he will look, he will say, okay, come back to me, Sheldon, this is wrong, but I want to talk to this person. And he will get back at me. What we want to try to do now is build them up to being able at that pitch night to really impress. Because we
Mm.
held two, but we're not familiar with what it takes, because here when somebody tells you investment, they're talking Nedco, and that is not investment, that's a loan.
Ah.
Bank, and that is not investment, that's another loan. Investment means I take my money out my pockets, I put it into your idea, not a business, it's an idea because I like your idea. I then
Wow.
people, I put somebody on your board. So I get somebody on your board to sit with you. I introduce you to places where you can sell, market, grow your idea. And I start with what they call seed money, which means this money is just to make the idea work. And then we go to other investors or another part of my fund, which would get you all the marketing and get the product being built out at the cheapest rate. That is it.
Yeah.
What we get here usually, and not knocking any program here, is a lot of people who would put you to get a loan somewhere. That is not going to work. Or a lot of people who tell you, I'll take you somewhere, but then they don't have somebody with the funding who's going to get you to that point. So, on our last pitch night, we had a Nigerian group that got through. We had a couple other organizations that I can't call their name, they're about to launch. And right now, I have a local service that I can talk about this. DeliverX is going to allow people to stay home on an app, get their prescriptions, order their drugs, have it delivered to your home. know the pitfalls we meet. I know we struggle to get acceptance, especially locally. People don't believe you can have that great idea. And yeah, everybody in reality, has an idea. You can think of something you've done to solve a problem you had, but there are across the world probably 200 million people with that problem. You just haven't thought of it in that manner
In
because you solved your problem. So you have
wow.
to think now and stop and say, who else has this problem? And you would
Hmm.
realize that, hey, everybody has this problem, or so many people have this problem. And therefore, your idea is an international business waiting to happen. You have that seed, you just haven't put it in the ground, manure, the right stuff, watered it, looked at it every day, cared for it. You just haven't done that. You have it. You have the seed. You have it somewhere on your dressing table, in your kitchen, in your backyard. And this seed really, I think of the great ideas. All the great ideas in the world were really something small, and they have built themselves into what they may be now. So that's our first, like, the behind doing business. I want to keep that global 1000 going, growing, and having those couple of pitch nights. The next thing that uh, Mercuri is really getting into uh, is that we are about to build a Spirit of the Game, which is a charity, and it's geared towards empowering women and UE students coming out of school. What we want to do,
Wow.
I'll let it out the bag, is we want to build a cooperative credit union society for them, which would develop courses for them to grow themselves, build themselves, help others, and we want to take this model and drop it in every island. Once we have perfected the model, we want to take this model and drop it in every island. I have a yes at
Wow.
credit unions with me, Miss Jamila Draper. So that's the head of the whole idea, going to help build it out. And that's something, before this year is out, you're going to hear the Spirit of the Game Cooperative Credit Union Society that is going to be run by normal mothers and women and youths coming out of UE who want to control their own destiny or have a big say in where they're going and how they're going to get there.
Amazing. Amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So let's talk a little bit about your outlook. So what significant changes you saw a couple of years ago, and what's your outlook for the next 12 months? I know you're passionate about entrepreneurship, so tell us.
The changes I've seen over the past 2 to 3 years actually is a female voice.
Wow.
I have seen more females deciding, I can build this and run this. I can do this. I'm actually seeing it. They're like, I would say before they knew or they taught it, but they didn't say it. And I think now they're saying it and stepping forward and doing it, trying to do it. And this is where they need support. So this is where the whole spirit of the game, everything comes into play. Um, and why I'm glad to see it is when we did the USB models deal with Texas Rangers, uh, Denisha Ramnan, she did not know business, but I was like, you can do this. And a lot of my good ideas, better ideas, some came from her. And right now she's doing stuff on her own. And what I'm seeing now is that the Trinidad and Tobago people, Caribbean people are realizing I can go to work for you, or I can stay home and, develop my own thing. And yeah, I might not make the 10 grand a month, but I'll make four, but I'll be happy. I'm running my own hours. I am doing the banking. This money I made, so this, and they're realizing that, look, especially the Black community, that look, we can also do business. There is no magic, formula behind it that we didn't get. It's what we've been doing all along. We just make it official. We sort of license it with the certificate, and we streamline it, and we focus on learning as we grow, that I can do more, I can add more, I can build up more. We used to do it, and we used to stop at like the market store or the pie vendor store. But I think now we're realizing, hey, I make the best pies. So why shouldn't I sell pies across Trinidad, across Tobago, in Grenada, in Barbados? I think they're finally realizing that, you can do that. And that is what I am seeing that's happening, because whenever I put it out, that is what is happening. I spoke at the Sixth Breed is a entrepreneur group in Nigeria, and I have been speaking at their conferences. The third one is coming up, and the first one, I think they were like 16, 10 were women. The next one, again, it's always more women with more ideas who are saying, you know what, I can do this for myself. I can build this. I'm seeing more and more of that. We have I have some women here in Trinidad with amazing ideas. They just really need that support. And I think
Wow.
what we need to do as brothers, cousins, friends, husbands, boyfriends, is really give that support. That support is in two ways: be there, listen to them, champion their idea. You know, you put on their jersey, have their name and number on your back, come out with a flag, and you wave till you drop. Understand that you have to let them go a bit, because you can't keep them underneath you if they're growing, because you can't stand up over the plant and expect the plant to come out of the soil. So we need to take the plant out of a pot and put it in a big field so the plant can grow as huge as it wants. A lot of times we only reason we have a small plant is because we put it in this small pot, keep it in the house and let it get a couple of hours sunlight and bring it back. We need to plant them in a huge field where there's no limit to how tall or how wide they can spread out. And we need to do that not just for women, but for young children. We're seeing that
Wow.
jobs are harder to come by, but there's no limit to what you can create. So there may be a limit on how many jobs are there today, but there's no limit to what we can create and build for yourself. There's no limit where
Absolutely.
it can go.
Absolutely. Wow. What a blessing today. So let's go a little bit deeper. So tell us, I mean, I know that persons are going through so many challenges, but share how you approach your challenges. What was one of your most challenging experiences, and how did you overcome and handle that?
My most challenging experience goes back to that Texas Rangers deal. I
Ah,
I needed a US partner, and I took a US partner, and the US partner, to put it in local terms, stabbed me in the back. So the whole thing crumbled.
hmm.
So this means all of the money we put in, I couldn't get investors, so we took a loan. So you have to
Wow.
pay that back and all of that. And how I overcame it is looking back on the amount of things I read. I can't even remember the book right now. So many books. It said, write down every little thing you achieved in life on one side, and write on the next side the things you failed. And you would realize you have achieved so much more. And for
Wow.
people who would doubt this, you started off by you are the sperm that won the race. So that's one achievement, right?
Hmm.
You got into preschool or primary school. Every time you came first in test, whether you won a race, whether it was you pitch marbles and you won, but write down every little thing, because when you come to your failures, you're going to write them down too. So the amount of times you have achieved, and the amount that you would look at it and you'd realize, I achieved this against the odds,
Wow.
is so much more than you have failed. So why should you consider the failures?
Hmm.
And then look back and realize that each failure, at the next side of that, each failure, write what lesson you learned. And if you didn't learn a lesson, then look back at it and see the lesson that was there, because you need to learn it so that you can push it behind. You don't want
Absolutely.
to carry it with you. So you learn what it is, you open the car door, you chuck it out the car, and you keep going down the road. The car will be lighter, so you'll travel faster at that point in time. And
Absolutely.
that,
That's good.
that is my way for overcoming challenges, as big and as bold as they were. So my next thing was, you know what? You need to bury yourself and keep looking for opportunities. And that's what I did. I kept looking for new opportunities and new ways, and never commit. The one way to seize your opportunities is you go and take a job and you say, I had to do this and make sure I get a pension, yes, and because you down your spirit, what you do is, yeah, you take the job, you need it, but when you finish working, go back to being an entrepreneur. When you get home, look for opportunities, etc. And this is how the home and pin opportunity came to me, because I was told to help home and pin get funding, but I didn't look at home and pin that small. I saw home and pin as being, hey, this is my USB model. This vehicle is going to take me everywhere. So when I started to speak to them, oh, we don't have a Caribbean representative. Great, can I be your Caribbean representative? And the answer was quickly yes.
Hmm.
So now I have rights to home and pin Caribbean. Then I was like, what about South America? No, okay, can I have? And this is it. We instead of thinking, how can I do it? I'm asking, can I have the rights first? And when I get the rights, I'll figure out how I'm going to do it.
Makes sense.
Right?
Makes
Because
sense.
if I sit down to work out how I'll do it, John is going to ask for the rights and he's going to get it. I can't allow that. So then I asked, what about in the US? Because you guys are mostly in Europe. And they're like, we don't have a permanent place. We don't really have someone doing it. So then I'm like, so I can go ahead and work through the US. Yes. Boom, the pandemic came. They had stuff they wanted to do. And I started reaching out to my people, etc. So, little secret, we are almost to put pen to paper to be the luggage tag, the travel tag for a Portuguese football team,
Oh
Benfica,
man.
and Seven Sixers, as well as the Devils hockey team in the US. That is,
Huh.
you know, you put your head down and you work. You put your head down, and every day, you're like, I gotta do this. This is where, you know, I am going to create something. And just remember that you can't be greedy. I'm creating something that I can take and leave for my daughter, my nephews, my nieces, my family, and I want to create, most important, a legacy where a young Trinidadian can say, my stuff should be selling in the US. I can do it because look, Sheldon did this, and Sheldon is from here. I've seen this guy walk through Port of Spain, and he did it. So I am, we're taking home and pinning to the US, and we've about to sign these deals, right?
Yes, yes,
That is season. That is what you call season the opportunity. You don't,
yes.
again, you don't sit quietly and ask, can I, no, come straight out. I mean, I asked this over a WhatsApp call and got a yes, and then sent an email and got back the contract and signed it. Yeah, when you sign it, you don't know what you're doing yet. But now that you're committed to doing it, hey, look and find a way and plug away. You're going to ask 200 people before one says yes. But just remember, if you
Absolutely.
ask all of them, you're not going to get to that yes. So, my success is going from challenge to challenge, putting on a smile, a brave face, and say, let's go, let's
All
go.
right. So tell us then a friendly advice. So I know you have a lot, but if you were to choose one thing to tell this community as Sheldon's friendly advice for persons getting into business or leadership, what would that be?
One friendly advice: do not do not muzzle or be loud with what you want to be. Be bold, be loud with what you want to be. You have to be, because if you're loud and positive, you're going to attract the things that need to get you there. There's going to be
Wow.
somebody listening. Yeah, a lot of people think of it like a big football game, national stadium, 20,000 plus people. If you would not, when you walk out as a player, you want to be seen, you have a choice. You can walk out like everybody else, or you can walk out in a Trinidad and Tobago jersey with a bright green boots. You're gonna get almost all the people saying, green boots? Who he feel he is? What he feel he is? Yeah, that's okay. Now you only need to do one great thing in that 90 minutes. Nobody forgets the guy with the green boots who gave the cross for the goal. Simply because he had a green boots, and make sure you have a jersey underneath that promotes you, your name with your picture. So that when you score and you pull off the Trinidad and Tobago jersey, you stand in front of the camera and say, tell the world, here I am. Because that's what you need to do in your business. I don't care if you think you have a new way to make a cake. Hey, every day on Facebook, boast that you can make this cake better than everybody. It doesn't matter what the comments are on the bottom. They are the people who paid to see you in the stand. So you don't have to worry about the person who's paid to see you in the stand that is booing or anything like that. That's their job. But you are on the stage. Remain on the stage. Shout when you're on the stage. Make sure they see you. Read enough about the people who made it. They'll tell you the Steve Harvey who slept in his car, etc., etc. That didn't mean he's not getting up out of the car with his rumpled suit on to go and stand up, do a stand up again. And you keep doing it. Everybody who's made it, the Chris Rock, anybody will tell you that is what they did. The greatest of them, that is what they had to do. But you know what? That is your journey. Sometimes you have to understand that the call, the reason you alone are hearing it is because it's not a conference call. It's your call. It's not a conference call. So yes, they are not hearing it because then nobody's talking to them. The universe is talking to
Wow.
you. You are the person supposed to do this and become great. So the universe doesn't need to tell them. Your actions will tell them that you are that person. So shut it down and start to shout, this is me, this is what I'm going to do. Be brave. You're going to attract the right sidekicks, etc. And just work. When you finish shouting, work. Shout, work. You're gonna get there.
All right. Oh my gosh. So we have just wrapped up the first part. Now we're gonna get into some more fun, some fun facts, the lighter side, the other side of C-suite. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So tell us a few of your favorite things, Sheldon. So anyone or all, your favorite food, song, book, people, place to visit, what are some of your favorite things?
My favorite place to visit is actually Cocoa Reef Hotel in Tobago. Flat out, it's the most relaxing place I've ever been to, despite where I've been in the world. Forget Disney,
Uh,
all those places. That honestly, Caribbean Sea, you're in Tobago, the type of food, the how friendly the people are, everything. That has been my favorite place to visit, my go-to place. If I run away, that's where quick, yeah,
we know where to find you. We
yeah.
know where to find you. We know where to find you. Anything else from this list you want to share today?
Favorite food is oil dog with pigtail.
Hmm.
You can't get past that. That's my favorite food.
I'm vegetarian, so I'll pass on it, but good for you.
Very pigtail and cook it and serve you. And if somebody wants pigtail, we can have the pigtail cooked at the side and put it in.
Oh, all right. I'll consider that. What about songbook people? Anything there you want to share?
My favorite song is a hip hop song, and that is "It's a Hard Knock Life" by Jay-Z.
Ah,
I think that really speaks to me. That is the road you go on. It may be a hard knock life, but that's where you're going to get your hard knock diploma, you know, and your success is going to come after. Just stay the course. My favorite book is "See You at the Top" by Zig Ziglar.
that's awesome.
And favorite people. So that's a bunch of people. So let me see if I can call anybody I didn't call. It's not because it's because of time, right? And I have to bring it up now. So my favorite people, I will start. My favorite person in the world is my daughter, Tiffany Jamila Scipio. Um, I don't, I don't know what I do without my daughter.
Hmm.
Right? That's my favorite person. Inspiration, the things she does, the way she does it her own way. But yeah. Then I have uh, Jennifer Conliffe, Javon Jeffrey, Ducky, Daniel Garcia. You can't get better support in this world than Ducky. If Ducky's at your side, yeah, you're gonna get where you're going. Uh, you know,
Wow.
Javon, just an amazing young man, entrepreneur, knows how to buck down and work towards something. Uh, very, very generous, giving you get anything off from him. I have Mark Bush out in LA, Dr. Lance out in LA, uh, Andrew Hopwood, Hoppy, and Ben, who are my partners, who are the real owners of Homing Pin that I'm partners with now. Great people. Another great guy out in London is actually Martin Wilde. There's so many. Jamila Draper. Oh, yeah. Your surname is Draper. You're in that family. You're one of my favorite people. Uh,
Got you. Got
Jacqueline,
you.
Jacqueline Seafoot, Davon Guy, an amazing engineer. No engineering degree, but if you have an engineering problem, yeah, Davon, Davon is going to solve it. You see the new community centers going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you may not see his name, but trust me, you know, the reason the Lara Stadium works, yeah, Davon Guy, amazing friend from Ye High, you know,
Wow.
Michael Sheen Watkins, my basketball coach, uh, is like a father. It still messages me every day today. You know,
Wow.
yeah, those are some of the people I don't think I I would be here or gotten anywhere. Oh, and my uncle Rick in Canada, who has been my inspiration since, everybody needs that now. One person that you follow about, when you're young, right? So that would be the one person I want to see every day since I've been a young man.
Wow. Wow. That's like a nice big list. Huh. So laughs. Your clumsiest moment.
Oh, so much.
Just one for today.
Oh, my clumsiest moment. Let me see. And I think that would be, and I don't even think I cleaned it up. I don't think much people could remember it. Um, the few people with a small group were there. Um, I was in Suriname at like 12 going on 13 for football. And I like hurried to try and get ready to go to a practice session and trying to do everything at the same time. I fell down the steps. The people that probably could remember that, if any, would be a guy, Raymond, call him Taboo from Grandy, because he was my roommate. I think Keith Scott saw it, but everybody was at the bottom of the steps, and I appear at the bottom of the steps. Yeah. And I just like tried to play it off and try to pretend I'm no time. I realized like if I jump to hit, that was, you know, a footballer that, hey, you're big enough, you're on tour, and and here it is like you fall coming down the steps.
That was just
that is
that was just clumsy. That was
yeah,
just clumsy. That was
yeah,
just clumsy. All right. Pet peeves. Any?
yeah. People who are naysayers about anything without having any knowledge and would never say, I don't know.
Wow. All right. You all heard it. You all heard it, guys. If you want to irritate Sheldon, you know what to do. Got
Uh,
you. Hobbies. What do you do for fun?
a whole host of things. Let's pretend there's no COVID,
Okay. Fair
right?
enough.
Right. So for fun, play basketball on Sundays with with my Sunday homies. Um, listen to music. I'm a sucker for hip hop, good hip hop, not the mumble rap stuff. Um, so I like especially and old school slow music. For fun, I'd go and watch almost any sport. Netball, volleyball. I,
Ah,
I love sport. So if you could get me in a place where we could go from place to place and watch a different sport, you would have my attention. Um, and just sit with my daughter and talk. That is,
gotcha.
that is something, it's relaxing, it's exciting, it's enlightening, all in one. It's like everything, to hear. For me, it's like listening to someone that, you helped produce, think above you, sometimes like you, sometimes way opposite. You're wondering, okay, where did that come from? All that in one in just one conversation. So
Yeah, that's good. That's sweet. So we're almost to the end, and I am fired up. The final question that I have for you today, Sheldon. Make a wish.
make a wish, make a public wish. Uh, my wish is that the pandemic passes with as few deaths as possible. From today onwards. That's my wish. My wish is that the earth could really replenish itself. People would be freed up with as little deaths and as little discomfort from this pandemic as possible. The real discomfort is with yourself. I think you're sitting down and now you're seeing, wow, a year has passed. I could have done this. I could have been this. And they don't know how to cope with that. And we could all really look and find out what our dreams are and not make it a bucket list. Instead of the things you wrote down on your bucket list, change it to a to-do list and get to doing as much of them as possible.
Wow.
You need input, valuable input from people around. So make sure you have a team, no matter what it is. If you have a family, it's a team. You get married, you have a co-partner immediately. You have a team. You can. If you're golfing, you need a caddy. So ensure you have a team. And keep your head up, stay inside, stay safe, be informed instead of opinionated. And I would like to see everybody on the next side of the pandemic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Sheldon, this has been a great journey. I enjoyed this time I spent with you. I don't know how you feel about it, but I felt really good getting from you, and I learned so much today. So on behalf of the Key Business community, we want to tell you thank you.